everyone, I have something here today that I've been wanting to do a review on for quite a while, and that's the Sigma 18-250 macro lens. Now, I have this little jewel right here, and it comes with a pedal hood in case anyone's wondering. If you haven't seen my unboxing video, I'll put a link down in the description. Comes with the nice Sigma pinch caps, love those. And of course the nice Sigma bottom caps, which go on much nicer than the Canon ones in my honest opinion. As we can see here, I hope this lens is in focus. But it's a pretty good lens. I've had this for about a year now, and I want to do an honest review of this as always, because I don't like to do fake reviews like somebody paid me or something, because Lord knows I don't get paid anything for doing this. But I've grown to really like this lens. It has its downsides, it has its upsides, and overall I think this is a pretty good lens. But let's get in here to do some facts about it. Now, I have some stuff on my iPad here so I don't miss anything, and I'll kind of go over them. Like I said, this is the Sigma 18-250 millimeter f3.5 to 6.3 DC OS HSM macro lens. Now, this is a Sigma calls this a high performance compact multi-purpose lens. Now I'm just going to tell you, this is just straight up a good travel lens, or somebody who wants a DSLR but wants a really long focal range like you'd find in some of those high-end point and shoots. So this right here is perfect for families, especially going to the zoo. You can get close-ups, you can get far, get a picture of the animals real far away. This is one of the best lens I think you can get. Now, one more things about this is the crop cancel, hence the DC. So in case you're new to Sigma, DG is for full frame, DC is for crop. Okay, like I said, at DC it fits all APS-C cameras. If you're wondering, that's not the 7D, the 7D Mark II that just come out, the 60 and 70D cameras. And also the latest 760D and 750D, which is also the T6, T6S, T6i, and all the Rebel line all through their series. So if you have even like an older 600D like I do, that have Magic Lantern installed on, this lens still works fabulously on those cameras. Okay. Now I want to talk about the build quality here. This is also made with some what they call the thermally stable composite material. I think I put Stably on my slide here, so you've seen this on the screen. No, I kind of screwed up there. But anyway, it's thermal stable composite material. It's very similar to polycarbonate. This is also the same material that make all the new World Vision line of lens out that they make now. The art series, the contemporary, and the sports series, and all that. It's the same type of material, so I believe they already switched over this material before they started making those. This is a great material. I love using it. To me, it's probably better than metal, because metal you drop, break. This stuff is just fabulously made. It feels very solid and sturdy. Does not suffer from any kind of zoom creep. In case you're wondering, it's been such a long focal range if it has zoom creep when you point it down, and I'll show you right here. No, it absolutely does not suffer from any zoom creep. This is a fabulous lens. However, I will point out while we're thinking about it, it does have a lock on it, a very positive feeling lock. No, it's really not needed, but in case you've had yours and probably use it for 10 years, it might actually start creeping by then. It's there just in case. Also the autofocus and optical stabilizer, which is stabilizer, depending on what brand you're using. Buttons are also very solid. Now I'm going to point these out right quick. I love these more than I do the Canons. My 10-22 that I'm filming here with, I use all the time. I love that lens. But however, the buttons on it are easily knocked off. It's just very easy to touch that Canon lens and turn off image stabilizer or turn off autofocus. And with Sigma's lens here, they're very solid, very positive feeling. You do not accidentally turn these off. If you turn them off, you turn them off on purpose. Love the way this is made. They're just super solid. Can't argue have any better than that. Okay, let's get back to my tablet here. I said, so I like those, buttons, a lot on the Sigma lenses. Kudos to Sigma, keep up the good job on that. Now this lens weighs in fairly light. The lens weighs in at 16.6 ounces, which is 470 grams, and it's composed of 16 elements in 3 groups. There's a lot of, lens into this lens. That's the best way to put it. Lens in a lens. Well, anyway, optical elements in the lens, so be politically correct here. And it also has 7 diaphragm blades. Since it doesn't say the circular, I'm sure they're just regular straight ones or semi-straight ones. The aperture 3.5 to 6.3. Now 6.3 is kind of high. However, you're looking at a lens that goes from 18 up to 250, so this is what you're going to expect with such a long focal range here, and you really can't argue with that. Looking at the price of this lens, the lens is priced very competitively. This is one of the older models now, but this is still one of the good models now, and like I said, I love this lens. Okay, let's talk about the autofocus and mechanics involved here. Focus is very accurate. AF speed's about average, and I'll put a video up here. You can focus as close as 12 3/4 inches or 0.35 meters, and you can get some pretty good macros too. Now I'll put a macro shot up on the screen. Now, when you zoom in at 250 millimeters, when you'll get up to 1 to 2.9 macro reproduction, so that's it's pretty good. A lot of Sigmas have those, so it's not nothing spectacular, but it's nice to have a good macro in case you want to get some flower shots or just get up close shots in general. It's not real close macro, so it's not a macro lens, but it can get close, which is very nice to have. Now, image stabilizer is not the best I've seen. Only getting about 1 full stop of stability in my video test. Although the optical test, for stills, seems to be much better, about 2 stops, and I'll put a video, demonstrating that on the screen. Okay, then we get to lens flare. There's a great deal of lens flare in this lens when pointing it, directly at the sun, which is kind of silly. But if you're J.J. Abrams, be kind of happy that you might want to start filming your movies with this lens. However, contrast does hold up pretty good, and I'll put a video up there also. When you see that. And so the lens flare is kind of pretty bad, but if you don't shoot inside straight into the sun, it's not going to affect you too much. Like I said, at least the contrast does hold up pretty good. Okay, let's get to talking about image quality here. The images are not the sharpest that I've for my test. 18mm comes in nicely with average sharpness. About f3.5 is about where 18mm is actually sharpest. But when you zoomed all the way up to 250mm, I had to stop the camera down to like f7.1, 7.1, f8 to actually get my images to really sharpen up really good. And I double checked this on DxOMark, and it seems to come out about the same, going by their testing and stuff, so I'm not too far off. They also list that the perceived megapixels to be at 7 megapixel on a 20 megapixel Canon 70D. 7 perceived megapixels, which is about to be expected, because your average kit lens gets anywhere between high 6s, mostly 7 to 8. Even the 18 to 135, that STM lens gets at 8, but it's kind of on the low end of the 8. So, but 7 megapixels, you got to understand it's 18 to 250, not 18 to 135. That's why there's a drop in image quality. But it's not that bad if you, for example, if you're shooting, and you're wanting to print like 11 by 14 photos or even 8 by 10s, this image still has plenty of resolution to print some very nice portraits and stuff. So if you're getting this lens and you think everything's going to be complete garbage, and absolutely not. This lens is a great travel lens for anybody wanting to travel. It's a great family lens for anybody that likes to shoot, go to the, do movies and stuff, go to the zoo. This is absolutely just an all-around good lens. But you can't always have the best image quality when you have an all-around good lens. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, let's see if I missed anything else here. Bokeh. The Bokeh is actually kind of nice. And I got pop a picture from the screen here, and you have to at 18 millimeter. You're not gonna get no real bokeh. Looking at something, even if you focus in real close. But when you zoom out to 250 millimeter and you get real close on your subject, that background just melts into nothing. It is absolutely very, very nice and very pleasing. So even if the blades are not circular or rounded, they look very nice, and you cannot complain at all. Okay, my final thoughts on this lens is this is great lens. If you want a lens to buy, go traveling, see the world, use your DSLR, and you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a lens or have multiple lenses, get this lens. You really cannot complain. The price is pretty cheap on this lens, and it's really, really good. Another good thing is it's 62 millimeter filter thread, so you're not buying really expensive filters. If you do buy some, I do recommend a circular polarizer. That's pretty much most anybody really needs, especially shooting in daylight. But if you want to buy this lens to go on your DSLR, go take travel photos, like I said, you can still print some pretty nice portraits with it. You're not going to be able to blow anything up, by 24 by 36 inches and expect it to look really great. But if you're just a normal photographer, or even just a travel or journalist photographer who just prints, smaller photos like for your newspapers or whatnot, this is a really great lens. Now the downside is it's not weather sealed. Of course, that's to be expected with a lens of this price range, but it is made in Japan, as it says here, made in Japan. It's really good quality. It's very tightly built. If somebody's wanting to know about the zoom on it, when you're zooming out, when you hit about 50 to 80, it does get a little bit tighter, but that's just because the gears in it making it push and pull the way it's designed. That's unfortunately it is. It is not full-time manual focus, so if you want to actually use manual focus, it's very loose, very short throw, and a whole lot here, but it's accurate enough. Like I said, it's easy to knock it off manual focus if you're trying to manually focus with it. But I'll leave it on autofocus. Very, very accurate autofocus. Cannot complain. It's internally focusing, so nothing goes in and out, or nothing turns here when it's focusing, so that's a good thing. Optical stabilizer is about the only real downside to this lens. Like I said, I get about 1 stop of video, 2 stops of shooting stills. Really not that impressed. You can almost turn it off and not notice you had it on or off, as you can tell from the videos I showed. So that's the only real downside to it. Other than that is, for its zoom range, it's a very, very good lens, and one I enjoy using. Comes with front and rear caps. Also comes with a pedal hood, It's just a little cheap plastic one, but say cheap, it's plastic, you know. But you know, it's not bad. It's a great little hood. And that's it, everybody. I really do like the lens. I will be using it when I travel. There isn't much else to say about it. You know, I'm beating a dead horse here, but I'd like to know your thoughts on this lens if you've used it. You know, leave your thoughts down, thought box down there at the bottom, and comments. Excuse me. And until next time, everyone, thank you for watching, and see you next time.